How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. I'm so excited to have you in this episode because today we're going to talk about the simple process to go from negative to positive and how you can take control of your experience. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive state. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. Well, before we get started, if there's something that you enjoy or resonates with you in this episode, if you're on YouTube or Spotify, you can actually leave a comment below. Not only does that help me know what resonated with you, but somebody else might read your comment and might inspire them to give this episode a listen. This is the #1 mindset podcast in the world, and the best way to continue that is by sharing it or leaving those positive comments, and I could never thank you enough for doing it. I truly appreciate it. But let's dive in today's episode. So, who are you? And what are you doing here? This question is so important because when we think what we're doing here, a lot of times we go, well, I'm going to work, I'm taking care of my kids, I'm doing like these things. And we always think about these things. But what are we truly doing here? When you decide on a perspective there, it allows you to move forward. And you may not even thought about this. You may have just been born, existed. Now you don't feel well. You're struggling with something. Maybe it's anxiety, some trauma, some pain, some hurt, or you're just feeling lost. And that's what brought you to this podcast. But finding out what you truly are and deciding that gives you a platform to move forward so that you can become anything that you desire. So you can choose the perspective that you want. But the one that I have, and the one that I believe is the most beneficial, is that you are the observer and creator of your experience. So you're not you, like I am not Henry, I'm something more than that. I am something that's experiencing life as Henry. So anything that happens to Henry or anything that happens to you is happening to the vessel that you're experiencing things in, but it's not happening to you. So what are we doing here? We are here to have an experience. That experience, that feeling is up to you. Now, if you're wondering, well, how do I change it? How do I create a different experience? Because the one I'm living right now is not fulfilling me. Well, it's very simple. The way you perceive the world is the way that you receive it. So if you want to receive something different, which is energetically or experience-wise, if you want to receive something different, you have to perceive as something different. Well, you see through your mental mind. That's where you filter everything, goes through your mind. Not literally your eyes, but that's a good part of how we see. But really, it's the mind. That's what processes everything that goes to the other side, to our energetic self. And so if you want to see something different, you have to change the frequency at which your mind operates at. If you want to know the frequency that your mind's operating at, just pay attention to the thoughts that go through it. You see, the thoughts that go through it have to be on the vibrational level that you're vibrating at. If they're not, it doesn't work that way. It'll change your frequency. So if you have negative thoughts, like my life is hard, this is that, work sucks, the economy's bad, I don't have any opportunity, I'm healthy, I'm this, I'm that. Whatever those thoughts are, those are the frequencies that's dictating the frequency that you're operating on. And so that dictates what you see on that frequency line. So if you're not you're observing those thoughts, they're not your thoughts, you can change them. If you change those thoughts, like this is the most fundamental way to change. If you shift those thoughts, even if you don't feel them, even if they feel fake, even if they don't resonate, if you change those thoughts over time, the mind will have to resonate with that frequency. Because you're putting those thoughts, which actually aren't words, they're representations of frequency, in there. And so by doing that, you will shift. As you shift, your perception starts to change. As your perception starts to change, because now you're going to be perceiving on a different frequency, you start receiving differently. Now that might be a lot. That might be a lot to digest right now, but really think about it. If it's that simple, wouldn't it be worth a try? Your life has gone up to this point. What would it hurt to give it a shot? We're coming up to 2024. What would it hurt to commit to 2024 and beyond, but just at least for 1 year of all the years that we live, commit to 1 year starting now. So give yourself a head start of thinking in alignment with the frequency that you want to be on. Just commit to it. Just obsess with it, meaning you never let the thoughts own your mind. When the negative ones come in, the ones that pull you down, you look at them and then you immediately replace them with positive ones. The good news about this experience is that you can only focus on so much at a time. You see, if I were to tell you this and I said, hey, remember this. So I want you to remember going to the store. Now, the clothes that you're wearing were very warm. You're wearing these warm clothes, and you just got this new haircut. And you had to rent a car because your car was in the shop, so you drove that car, and you're headed to the store, and you need to get these grocery items. So I need you to get some eggs. I need you to get you some milk. I need you to get, we need some cheese. We need some bread. We need some turkey. So I need you to get these items, okay? Now, once you get to the store and you get these items, I'm going to give you some cash. I'm going to give you a $5, a $10, and a $20 bill. I want you to use these as makes sense. I try to make back the change, but I need at least 4 quarters back because I need to get some change from that thing, okay? Now, while you're doing this, I've got a project that I'm going to be working on. This project's extremely important, so I need you to remember these things, okay? There's a code 753, so remember that code while you're doing this, because when I'm working on the project, I'm going to have to come to you for this code, okay? So that way, as you can tell, the more stuff I start saying, remembering all of that gets more and more difficult. And if you go on and on and on, and you add an entire life, everything that you got to do in your world beyond what I'm asking you to do, it becomes too much to focus on. And that's a gift. See, the same is with your thoughts. If you have thoughts in your mind and you're trying to remember them, but the music's too loud, the scene's what's going on in the world is too distracting, you're not going to remember those thoughts. It's going to be hard to pay attention to them. Versus, or if the thoughts are in your mind, it's hard to pay attention to what's going on. You can only focus on so many things. This is a gift. So if you commit to, I'm going to put positive thoughts in my mind always and forever, in alignment with how I want to perceive the world, your world will change. Why wouldn't you just give this a try? Give yourself 1 year of dedicated mental control. What do you think would shift from you? If you have 2 people and they have to dig ditches along the road, and I've used this example before, they're twins. They have the same physical capabilities. They've been on earth for the same amount of time. They're wearing the same clothes, same outlook. Nothing is different except the words that go through the mind. So the one on the left, they're not happy that they have to dig this ditch. They're upset. They want to be working in an office somewhere. They think they should be paid more. The weather's too hot. They're not happy. And that's their thought process. The other one is happy. I'm so thankful to be alive today. I'm so thankful that I have the strength to dig this ditch. I'm so thankful that it's sunny. I'm so thankful that I have my youth and I'm able to do this. I'm so excited for this opportunity. This is going to be such a good chance to get out here in the sun, get some exercise, and dig this ditch, which needs to be done. Who do you think is going to dig the ditch first? Who do you think is going to get through it first? Who do you think's ditch is going to be the best? It's the same work that most people don't want to do. Your mindset is everything. The frequency that your mind operates on is everything. I know when you're feeling depressed and you're going through anxiety, those thoughts can be overwhelming and you feel like you don't have control. But you do. Start with the smallest step that you can. If you just have to physically write down your positive I am statements, write them down, keep them with you. When you get overwhelmed, look at them and say them again and again. It's not going to switch everything instantly. If you are going one direction, You can't automatically turn around and be full speed past neutral, like the starting point, in one blink of an eye. You have to put the brakes on. You have to create a different momentum to slow you down. Then you slow down. Then you have to start going back the other way. So there is a road ahead to make the shift completely. But you have to start. If you never start, or if you do start and then quit because you didn't get results right away, it's not going to happen. The gift of this experience is that things don't happen immediately. Outside of the physical realm, when we're not here and there's no barriers, imagine what happens when you have a thought and then it becomes reality. When you have a frequency feeling, it becomes reality. What if you're feeling down and that just pulls you down to the depths of despair? Because there's no barriers. Here there are. There's time. It's slowed down. There's not the immediate fulfillment. That's a gift. It gives you time to reflect and think, is this the way I want to be? Is this the experience I want to have? And if it's not, just make this simple change. Understand what you are. You're powerful. You're energetic. You're a creator. You're an observer. Understand that the simplest way to change your perception, which again is your reception, are the words that go through your mind. Commit to a length of time doing it. Hopefully it's forever, but give yourself at least a year. Give yourself that. Love yourself enough to commit to a year of only positive thinking. When the negative comes in, you push it out because you can only focus on so much. Try this. Level up and grow and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a different perspective on whatever it is that you're going through, and hopefully a step forward so that you can start moving into the light that you desire. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.